Hello and welcome to another Dashcam drive. My name is Wizzy Zero, you can also call me Wizzy, and today I will be your driver. Now, in this video, I am going to be taking a ride to Chick-Fil-A and then over to Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center. Because when I did this Dashcam drive, my mother was actually in the hospital. She was having kidney problems. Probably, I'm thinking could be from chemo treatments that she's currently having, but as of me doing the audio for this, she's now home, doing a whole lot better. So yeah, I just want to mention that. But that's why I was heading to the hospital in this video, because I had to drop the bag off to the hospital for my mother. And yeah, like I said, she's out now, fine. So yeah. Now anyways, of course this section we've had in my previous Dashcam drive. In fact, I will provide a link to that one if you want to check that out. If you want to check that out, if you haven't already, like I said, you can check the description for that, the link to that. And also, the end of this video, unfortunately, I don't think my camera died, but something happened that ended up stopping recording at the end on the way back. So unfortunately, it kind of just ends. And what I'm gonna do, or what I'm planning on doing, is I'm going to eventually do like another video in that section. And I did cut out a couple of the traffic lights like this one. There's only like 2 traffic lights I think I really cut out. But yeah, anyways, that section where it kind of cut out, I'm planning on going back at some point and re-recording through that section. Probably get some more areas I could probably record, just maybe take a ride or something like that. I don't know, we'll see. But when I upload that, I will have a link in the description on this video for that video as well. So check the description for that if it's there, or to see if it's there. But if it is, you can check that out as well. So when I went to, in my last video, I went to Five Guys, and I went this direction a little bit, but I actually turned left at this light. This time I'm actually going straight. Now the reason being, well, 1, it's different, and 2, which is more of the main reason why I went this way, was because as of filming, or as of the recording of this video, Trump, and I don't want to get any like politics going in the comment section or anything like that. Not here for that. I'm just mentioning that he was scheduled to come into Maine as of the day of this recording. In fact, right now it shows is, was that 12:48? And one thing too, I know in the last video I did not have the date and time correct. The date and time is correct for this video. I made sure I got that all working or correct before I started filming. So the date time's correct on this one. Now he was scheduled to land in Bangor at, is that 12? I don't know, it's kind of hard for me to see right now. Maybe it shows 13. Yeah, I think it's 13 actually, 13:49. So like 13:49 or 13 or 1:30 or 49 rather. He was supposed to be landing in Bangor at 1:50. So actually just less than a minute from now. And towards the end of this road here is part of the flight path going into Bangor International Airport. So I was hoping I would be able to get his plane on camera, but as you'll see, unfortunately that didn't happen. I guess he was a bit late coming in. Now, like I said, no politics in the comments. I'm not here for, that's not what this is for. This is just, I guess, to show you guys the area, just entertain you guys, I guess. But yeah, he was here to visit, what was that, a Purina factory in Gardner, Maine, where, they currently make, test swabs for the COVID viruses. So he was visiting that factory, and apparently, which I didn't realize, it's the second largest production factory of test swabs in the world, which, I mean, is pretty cool. And also, I guess he was also here to mention about, which I guess I had heard before he came, but to mention that he had given funding to build a second location here in the state of Maine, set to open next year, and they're hoping to basically quadruple the amount of test swabs that they can produce. And the machinery that they will be using to create that will also be manufactured here in the state as well. Basically mentioned a location that basically makes naval ships for the U.S. It's shoot, where's the? It's along the coast here in Maine. It's called Bath Iron Works. Oh, Bath, yeah. So Bath Iron Works. That's where they, I guess, are going to be, or they're going to be making the machinery for the test swabs production. So everything, as far as that goes, is actually going to be created here in the state of Maine. And all those test swabs for, like, Purina, for the COVID, like I said, are all made here in the state of Maine, which, like I said, I didn't realize it was the second largest production factory of test swabs in the world, which, like I said, I think is pretty cool. So that's why he was here. And also, I guess, for fishing, when he was here in Bangor, he met up with, like, the fisheries to, like, I guess, eliminate some regulations or whatever. So that's another thing he did while he was here in Bangor before flying on his naval helicopter to Gardner. But yeah, like I said, unfortunately I didn't get the video of the flight on, or him coming into Bangor on this video, which is a bummer. But like I said, no politics, no bashing each other with politics. That's not what this is about. I just wanted to mention that without getting everybody all uptight and everything. But anyways, so was it last week or the week before when I went golfing? You might have seen on the right side a couple times a golf course, and that is Bangor Municipal Golf Course, and that's where I've gone golfing. It has an 18-hole course and a 9-hole course. And last time I went, I played 18. So yeah, now this is where we're coming back up onto Interstate 95, where I had my previous video. Got the airport off to the left here from that clearing. And this guy was stopped, I'm assuming, to watch the Trump's plane land. But stopping on the interstate, really? Well, you couldn't see it there, but there's another road to the left, which I'll have to go down at some point, which is closer to the end of the runway. And when I went by, I looked over, and there was a whole line of cars on both sides waiting for Trump's plane to come in. Anyways, so yeah, like I said, this part we've gone through. Last time I went through here when I was going to Five Guys, that was, what, a couple months ago? Yeah, that was like the beginning of the whole COVID thing with the lockdown, or not, well, kind of a lockdown. I went through and they were working on the bridge up here. They had taken out the support beams for the bridge. Still had the center part, but the lanes weren't shifted. Now, right up here, you will notice that the lanes are shifted quite a bit, and they're working on building the new bridge actually right now. And actually, when we go by too, they have some of the like middle supports in. They got quite a bit concrete on the right side, but the left side, on the opposite side of the highway, they haven't really done a whole lot. But they've made quite a bit of progress through here. So you can see like the middle support there, the right side there, that they've all done. So I mean, they're making, I'd say, pretty good progress there on that bridge. But yeah, so like I said, we've gone through here on the other video. Now where Chick-Fil-A is in the same area as Five Guys, but it's not as far down. Over by the mall, same exit that I got off at, but different lane that I used. That is the exit after this one. Now this exit, when I go to school in the fall and spring, this is the exit I would take right here to head towards my school for classes. But of course, this semester, the second half basically was just all online, which sucked. But I mean, passed, got through and everything. Next semester I'm taking off because we're planning on going to Florida. We'll see how that goes. I'm thinking everything should be fine by then. That's still a few months from now, but only time will tell. So yeah, we're getting up to the exit we'll be taking. One thing too that's different from last time, I believe, is right by the off-ramp for this exit, they are building a walking path from the road right up here, and you'll see all the construction off to the right here, maybe. Yeah, you can kind of see the path of it off to the right with a fence there. Still under construction. Like I said, they're building a walking path around this ramp here, which I don't think they really had much going on there last time. They might have were clearing the trees out. I can't remember. It's only a short little path from the other road, from the bridge there to just off to the right here about. Now, when we go into Chick-Fil-A here, it is actually in the mall, basically road, I'd call it. Well, I mean, it is a road, but there's like a road that loops around the mall. And basically, to get to Chick-Fil-A, you have to get into the Bangor Mall area there. So I'm in the right lane here. There's two turn lanes, as you can see with the signs. And one thing you'll notice here in a moment too, because this one I didn't cut out because it's not that long. I mean, maybe that's a few seconds, but the first light I cut out was the longest. One other one I probably didn't need to cut out, but I did anyways. But you'll notice, and one thing that always happens is in that left turn lane, you'll notice here that there's always people that are in the wrong lane. So that guy in the minivan there, I think, wanted to go straight but got in the wrong lane. And that always happens. So yeah, here we went straight before to get to Five Guys, and you can see Chick-Fil-A right there. But to get into it, you have to go into the mall entrance here because there's no entrance on this main road. And you can just see how rough this entrance right here is. The road around the mall itself is terrible. Now as we're coming around into the entrance. Now one thing I did do, I actually cut out the drive-through portion here. I wasn't going to, but when I was recording this, I realized that it just wasn't working when I was doing the preview thing, so there will be a jump here, and then afterwards I will be pulling into a parking spot. I actually end up eating, but I cut that out as well, obviously. But now I did cut the drive-through part out, but I figured I would cut it too when I'm at the window. So you can see a JCPenney right there, part of the mall. And now I know JCPenney listed a whole bunch, like 148 stores I think that are closing. This store is not closing. And the previous time when they had a whole bunch of stores closing, I found out that I guess, and it's probably still the case maybe, I guess if they have like a hair salon in them, which this one does, they're not closing. So this one, and in fact, when I saw the list, there are no JCPenney's in the state of Maine that are closing, which is good. Now one thing you'll see up ahead, which when I was sitting eating, of course I cut that all out. When I was sitting there eating, I noticed there was a whole bunch of fire trucks that were coming into, you might have seen it back there a little bit over by Dick's Sporting Goods up ahead. We'll go by there anyways, but there's a whole bunch of fire trucks that came in when I was sitting there eating. They had the ladder truck. In fact, they can kind of see it there, the ladder part that they're bringing back down. But when I went by, there were, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it when we get up to there. Yeah, you can also see how terrible this road is right here. But yeah, you actually can kind of see that there are a couple of firefighters up on the roof there. So I don't know if there was like a small fire or something. But I mean, it seemed like there wasn't, like, it wasn't anything major, because like you saw, there was an ambulance that just left, and they brought the ladder part down, so of course there was no visible smoke or anything like that. So if there was anything, I feel like it was just, like I said, a small fire or something like that. But yeah, this section right here especially, you can just see how terrible, I know I keep saying how terrible this road is, but which they need to fix badly. There have been a couple times where I've hit those potholes, like especially at night when you go through here. It's just, you can't even see them sometimes, and all of a sudden they'll be like, bam! It's like, oh, goodness. But now off to the left here was the Sears, and that spot is still empty, but 3 of the other anchor stores are filled in. We still have, like I said, Dick's, JCPenney, and what used to be Macy's is now a furniture store, but Sears is still empty. There's a few empty other places around here too. You might have been able to see back there off to the left. There was an old restaurant that's empty, an old bank that's not there anymore. Arby's, which was right up to the left there, that's been gone for a while. And up to the right here, used to be a Bed Bath & Beyond, that's been gone. That moved to a different location a long time ago. Can't really see it here. You can kind of see the corner of the building. But basically it was like a duplex sort of thing. So you had Bed Bath & Beyond on the left and Toys R Us on the right. And the Bed Bath & Beyond, like I said, yeah, I can see it better right there. Bed Bath & Beyond moved to a different location quite a few years ago in this area. So, but since then, that section's been closed. And then, of course, once Toys R Us closed, that's been empty. So that whole building, essentially, at this point, is just empty. Now, this is a different section that I haven't gone through before. And I actually got lucky up through here with all the lights. This light had just turned green. In fact, this bridge right here, I might have mentioned it before, but this bridge, I think starting later this year, they're going to be making, or converting into a diverging diamond interchange. Because apparently it's the most used bridge in the entire state. So, and of course it goes over the interstate right there. You have the on and off ramps right there. So that's why they want to convert it into a diverging diamond interchange. And I think one thing too, once they do that, the lanes will be able to be wider, because right now there's like 3 lanes on one side, 2 lanes on the other. And the way they're gonna do it is like 2 lanes on each side and then have like a pedestrian area in the middle. Yeah, this guy just all of a sudden barged right out. It's like, really? It looked like he wanted to get into the lane where I was in. In fact, he went into the right turn lane and turned right. A couple of cars behind me got behind them and then got over, but it looked like he wanted to get right in front of me. But, and it looked like he was just test driving as well. It's like, really? Like, if I was one of the car dealers and I saw that, I'd be like, yeah, guess what? You're gonna have to pay a whole lot more for that car. I don't know if that's legal or not, but now from here we're actually not too far from the hospital. I was going to just to drop the bag off, visit my mom a little bit. But like I said, she is home now. She's fine. But yeah, she wasn't in there too long. She was in there Thursday and was released. Today's Monday, and so she came home yesterday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday were the days she was there. So 3 nights. And in fact, once we come around this corner, you'll be able to see it. Now, coming up on the left as well is an old hydro dam. You'll be able to see part of the old building. The building off to the furthest left there, that's the old hydro part. That's all abandoned. This big building on the left here was part of the hydro as well, which was converted into like a housing sort of thing. Yeah, I got a park off to the right. See like a little fountain there. But yeah, that's the hospital straight ahead on the left. They've expanded it quite a few times. Now the entrance that I went into, the parking garage, is different than the exit that I took. Because the way you go in, you can't go out that way. Now off to the left here, you can't really see, oh, you might have been able to see on the left of that building, but that's the oldest section of the hospital, and if you were here in person, you could kind of see the progression from like the oldest to newest. You can kind of see the newest off to the left there. Or part of it anyways. Like there's so many different sections there. But and so this parking garage, in fact that taller section is a newer section. Part where I'm going to be parking is older. But the other one's been there still like maybe what, 10 years now? Like I said, that's not where I'm going to be parking. This I completely forgot about. Although, I'm pretty sure it's not that long. Yeah, it just changed, so. Most of these, like I said, the longest light was the first one I edited. The last one I did, I probably didn't even need to, like I said, but. It's okay, it kind of cuts down the video still. I mean, this video is still like 29 minutes. We're at 24:30 just about. So yeah, this is Northern Light, well it shows Northern Light Health there, but it's Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center. But yeah, that section is new with the Northern Light Health part on it. So of course I cut this out. Well, one thing I did was I took my camera down, put it away, and then put it back on. So I don't know if the camera is a little bit lower than what it was. It could be, but I don't know. Anyway, so we're cutting through the parking garage here now to exit out. And like I said, on the way back, part way through, it just stopped recording. Like I said, I don't think battery died. Because it's not a GoPro, but it's like a GoPro sort of camera. Unfortunately, battery life's not great. I mean, it's like 2 hours, 2.5 hours on a full charge. And it looked like it was fully charged when I looked at it earlier, but it could have overheated as well, but I don't think that would cause it to shut off. But who knows? So yeah, there's a lower level. If I had continued down, if I had just looped around, I would have had to go down 2 levels to get out that exit. But this one, I only have to go down basically just that one. That takes us closer to this actual exit, basically. But yeah, basically the way I was going, the way I was heading back was essentially the quickest way getting back. And it's also different because we haven't gone this section before, because the only section, like I said, was on the highway over by the mall. So, I mean, we're seeing different parts of town now as well. And in fact, this section here, when I drove school bus, I probably shouldn't mention it, but when I drove school bus, I would go through this section here. I mean, it's not a bad part of town. Definitely not the worst. I mean, I drove through the worst as well. I mean, it's still not terrible, but compared to like other places like Cleveland, East Cleveland or something like that, parts of Detroit. But still, I mean any location, any city, I suppose, is going to have their bad sections of town. Like I said, these sections aren't terrible. Now, up ahead too, you'll start noticing more larger buildings because we're actually getting closer to downtown. You might be able to see a little bit of a steeple up here as well, kind of behind one of the telephone poles. Quite a few churches here, and you have that building right there is a bank. It's like 9 floors. And then you also have the courthouse right next to it. You can kind of see behind the trees. But yeah, that's part of downtown over that way. This way I'm going kind of goes out and around. And this river right up here is the Penobscot River, and on the other side of that bridge is Brewer. So we're currently in Bangor right now. Like I said, Brewer's on the other side of the river. Which I may eventually take, do some videos over as well. One thing I would like to do for a video is take a ride down to like Bar Harbor. But I just realized that we're actually getting to the end of the episode, or the video rather. So that is just about going to do it for this video though, so hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you leave a thumbs up. And of course, as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye!